good evening everyone and welcome to TIO Stadium in Darwin on this beautiful build-up night for round 2 of the 2020-21 TIO NTFL Men's Premier League season. We've got St Mary's taking on Wanderers here. My name's Liz Cruz and joining me in the commentary box tonight I've got Stu Davis and Shannon Rioli. Welcome, gents.
Thanks, Liz.
Beautiful night for football, Shan.
Yeah, really good night. Not too humid at the moment, so it should be some good exciting football early on before the humidity and the dewy conditions set in, especially with these two teams, two young, quick, exciting teams.
We saw a lot of rain earlier this week, but it's held off this weekend. Well, Stu, Wanderers had a last gasp win last week and St Mary's went down, so they'll be looking for their first win. They
will be, but the side's a lot different to what we're used to over the past years. I was talking to Shannon before the game and I was involved with Saints up until 3 years ago, and tonight there's 4 players playing that played Premier League football when I was involved. So big changes, lots of young players, but opportunities galore, and obviously Saints will be desperate for a win, having lost in the first round. But this is a huge rivalry over the last 10 years.
Absolutely, there's been some fantastic grand finals over the last few years, and Shannon Rioli, you've been involved in a lot of those. We'll talk about them later as play gets underway here between St Mary's and Wanderers.
No clear hit out there. Working hard over the ball was Hayden Walters, got the hand pass out. Kick comes inside forward 50 now. Nick Yarran looking to scout there, but cleverly chopped off by Ronald Fijo. Hand pass back to Warwick Williams. His kick's going astray, and chipping in there is Dustin Walters taking the mark for St Mary's, directly in front of goal, about 30 metres out. Just read the play really well and was in there quick as a flash.
A really good centre clearance there by Lockie Taylor, Shannon Rioli.
Yeah, been a good pickup for the club. Lucky enough to have him come to the club, and as a 0-pointer, I believe, having not played senior footy before. Really good runner and had a really good debut last week.
And Walters has missed that shot, which is really disappointing for Saints. It was important for them to get off to a good start, and a goal there would have been perfect for them. Clark on the mark there, came in late, but hand pass comes across, and now Braden McLean clears it out of defence for Wanderers into space a bit. No player on the end of it. Hand pass comes out the back. Well, wrapped up in the tackle as soon as he grabbed the ball there was Tom Gilbert. It spills out now, and plenty of players around the ball in these early moments in this second round game at TIO Stadium.
And there's been a few changes from last week's team. Shawnee Edwards is out for St Mary's along with Jackson Payne and William Hams. Nick Yarran and Tyler Saunders come in, while for Wanderers Michael Mummery comes in.
So ball on the ground there, Jellyman Turner gets a hand pass back, and now Saints have got some players free on this grandstand side of the ground. They work the ball there into the hands of Paredes, who plays on straight away, goes short, and finds his teammate there in Gilbert. Gilbert chips in on the left to Raf Clark, just inside forward 50, and that's good use of the ball. A good build up there, patient build up, and hit their targets. Raf's going short again. Jackson Calder on the lead, he's got plenty of pressure on him, but gets to the ground first, squirts it out to Yarran. Hand pass comes across, but not the best effort there, and Wanderers in front. We'll let the ball go. Play on's the call. Plenty of numbers over the ball again. It comes out now, and Wanderers the opportunity to clean it up, but a bit of a fumble there, and now more pressure on. Hand pass comes away. Bit of ping pong played in there, and eventually a hand pass misses the target and bounces over the boundary line.
Well, it's been a busy start, Shannon Rioli.
Yeah, our forward pressure for St Mary's, massive turnaround from what it was last week against Northcliffe. Daniel Bowles, one of the best users of the ball in the comp, had top disposal, so something we addressed this week, and you can see that in the way the forward pressure is being led by someone like Nick Yarran, who just came off a rugby grand final best on ground in the premiership with the brothers this year, so he might enjoy tackling a bit more than others tonight.
So Brandon Grenfell grabbed that out of the ruck. He had no opponent there. It looked like Aaron Motlop standing next to him. I thought he was going to be the opposition ruckman, but obviously no one nominated.
And Shannon Rioli, you're obviously not quite back yet to play for St Mary's, sitting here in the commentary box with us tonight.
Yeah, so a couple of weeks out, or probably a week out from the season, just felt a bit of a calf. I've been told a few times now that it's an old man injury, so just want to make sure I get that right before I come back and play, because as you can see, the pace out there is pretty quick, and calves are pretty likely to get hurt chasing these blokes around.
So Jellyman Turner there caught with the ball, and looks like it's been reversed. Got a bit of attention afterwards, and he's He's pretty happy to take this one. He's got some players out on the grandstand side. Nick Yaron in plenty of space, takes the mark, plays on straight away, drills that pass in, not his best effort, and chopped off by Aaron Motlop, who kicks it high. Jellyman Turner coming in late, manages to get a fist to the ball, and eventually it's forced over the boundary line.
Good bit of pressure there by Nicky Aaron to affect the tackle and just fix up that kick he missed. Normally a good ball user, maybe just a bit rusty off that rugby season he had.
Wasn't he good winning the best on ground in the grand final for brothers? But we're glad to have him back for the NTFL season, because I'm sure all the viewers at home will agree, love watching him.
So Grenfell with the hit out over the back this time. Paredes gets on the end of it eventually, gets a hand pass forward. Gilbert avoids the tackle, swings around the corner, but sitting in the hole there, taking that mark is Williams. And he slows things down for Wanderers. Plays on now with a hand pass to Braden McLean. McLean on the left, again not on target. Harry Williams picks up the ball, is tackled over the boundary line. Umpire Peach says had an opportunity to get rid of it and didn't, so he's penalised. So it's Totham who kicks in short to Fijo.
Pretty sure Marcus Totham broke his nose in the first minutes of last week's game, so that's a good effort to come back and play this week.
Really good effort. He's a good, tough young player, and that's probably a really good example of it there, Liz.
He is. He's very small, but geez, he puts his body on the line, and as we said, very tough, and a great effort by Marcus Totham to come back and play probably with a broken nose still.
So another boundary throw in. Not much scoring happening, but plenty of physical pressure on the ball. Grenfell in front there was being held onto, and he takes the free kick. Kicks here looking for Calder, bounces just in front of him and out over the boundary line. So Grenfell obviously a handy pickup, Shannon, especially with Ryan Smith out in the early rounds.
Yes, slotted in nicely, and with Ryan Smith having a bit of a break after some carry on in the grand final last year, it's good that he can get some early games on.
So Grenfell again wins that one pretty easily, but his teammate couldn't capitalise on it. Paredes in and under again, a little toe poke forward by Lachlan Taylor, but Braden McLean getting plenty of the ball early, hand passes over the top. Plenty of numbers around the ball again, nothing clear happening. Aaron Motlop flicks it over, and the chance here for Matthew Motlop, but again under pressure, and Paredes in there again just slams the ball forward. Wanderers have the numbers here, and that's a good mark taken. Chopping it off there was Brodie Newman, and Wanderers work it out of defence. Now Keenan Smith-Thompson, a short kick, and goes to the advantage of Stanley Tipalura. Hooks around the corner. There's a one-on-one battle there, but cutting in was Jack Musgrove, taking the intercept mark.
And Jack Musgrove's returned to the Saints after playing down South Shannon. Yeah,
coaching Rapunyup down in the Horsham League, I believe, and actually signed for him to play this year, but that never took off because of what happened around the world, and talking to Jack already about trying to get down there again next year for a kick with him.
So Jellyman Turner, that was, who brought it out to Dylan Lant, goes short, and Saints on the outer half-back flank. Kick comes along the wing, so Lant's worked up the ground to get on the end of that one again. He chips inboard, bounces favourably for Liam Fior, and
clever tap there by Calder.
Yeah. Hand pass comes across into the middle of the ground now. Fior again, hand passes off to Gilbert. Gilbert short, looking for Calder. He's under pressure. A good spoil there. Paredes coming in over the ball, picks it up eventually, and he's got a free kick because he was taken high, I think.
Pretty hard to tackle Nate Paredes, and if you do tackle him, he's just as likely to shrug you and get that high one like he has there, and loves the goal, Nate, so you want to make sure he kicks this one. And for St Mary's, for all the forward play that they've had and the dominance, they haven't scored, so Wanderers have defended really well, so they want to start capitalising on all their forward play.
So Paredes stabs at this one, looks like it's going across the face, and all the way across, and out of bounds on the full, in fact.
He actually won the NTFL Play of the Round this week for a goal last week, so we're disappointed to miss that one, as we see Simon Bates, last week's hero, run it out of the back line for Wanderers, but he's lost possession there.
Jacob Long, good work under pressure, got the hand pass across to Gilbert. Gilbert brings it inside 50, and it's Thomas Long, I think, on the end
It
of
is
that
Thomas Long with the peroxide blonde hair there, number 42, the son of PJ Long, Shannon.
Yeah, and another one of the Longs at the club tonight and this year, and it's good to have him down there. First time he's been in front of his man. A couple of times he's given up front spot to the Wanderers defender who's taking the mark. You look at what happened, kids, when you play in front. Take a mark, you get a shot on goal, and hopefully for Thomas and Saints, he'll kick this.
So Long coming in now, kicks on target straight through the middle, and there's the first goal of the game. And under Saints boys happy about that as they get around Thomas Long, and some reward for plenty of zone. I've lost for words.
Football, Stu.
Yeah. Zone possession. They've had territory. Yes, they have.
Yes, they have. Finally, it's taken them, what's that, 9 minutes to kick their first goal, and they've had 8 or 9 inside 50s, whereas Wanderers on their first inside 50 looked really dangerous, and they got the ball all the way to the goal line. So Saints will want to make sure that they are getting reward for effort, because Wanderers, as we know, as I know, playing against them the last 10 years, they're one team who can turn it on and hurt you with limited opportunities.
That's right. We saw what happened in the last game. Buffs 10 points down going into half-time and had a big win over Southern District. So 10-minute marks at Mary's 1-2-8, leading Wanderers yet to score.
Free kick there to Joshua O'Brien. Good tackle. Kicks out wide here to Jacob Long, just back of the wing on the grandstand side. He's looking to chip inboard now and has Tyler Saunders there. Takes a mark, plays on straight away, goes straight down the ground looking for Raph Clark. Slips over the back. And it's Williams there for Wanderers, who clears it away. Just fist over the back, and Gillian Turner went to ground there. Fortunately, the ball came back to him, flicks one over his head, worked pretty well. And it's Fior who brings it around the wing, and Saints building up again on the outer side. Jack Lant out there on the left foot, switches it towards centre half forward. That's a terrific kick inside, good vision. And the kick just had the right amount of carry on it to get over the top of his opponent and into the arms of Brandon Grenfell.
Yeah, and that all started down in the back line with some great play by Liam Fior. It's his first game tonight. He's moved up here. He's living with Raph Clark, actually, just around the corner from me. And he's originally from the Pecola and District Football Netball League. So, yeah, great work there down back by Liam Fior.
So Grenfell's kick on the way, just missed it to the left, hit the post. So another opportunity missed for Saints in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, they've had 4 scoring shots, but only the one major. As we see the ball come out, looks like Marcus Tottenham with another possession there, kicking out in front of Joel Cabillo.
Cabillo switches the ball back into the corridor at centre half forward, but chipping in there was Jack Musgrove. Took a good mark. He's missed the target there, and they're under some pressure now. Jacob Long's cool under pressure. Hand passes out to Tyler Saunders. Musgrove on the end of it eventually.
That's a bit better.
And
Musgrove.
It's a better kick to Dylan Lant. Lant goes inboard, back into the corridor to Raph Clark. He takes the mark at centre half back. Ducks a couple of times. Eventually kicks wider again to the outer side. And it's Lant again. Hand passes off. Again, not the best of hand passes. But Gillian Turner's kick was really good up the corridor. And 50-metre penalty.
Yeah, Braden McLean just went a bit too close. I think it was Braden there. So that
26
was
arguing manner.
Saints.
Yeah.
Saints. Another 50-metre penalty for arguing, and that'll put Saints right in front. Dustin Walters will have a look there for his first goal of the evening, and he kicks it straight through.
So yeah, just lacking a bit of discipline there, Wanderers, and gave what was a free kick inside the centre square to a shot at goal from the goal line with a couple of 50-metre penalties.
Normally not much you can do to change the umpire's mind once he's made a decision, and you go and compound that by giving away a 50-metre, and then you double your damage by giving them 100 metres to make a certain shot on goal. After all that hard work defending, you don't want to now lose the momentum that you've built defensively for Wanderers after 13 minutes of play.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the 13-minute mark, St Mary's 2-3-15, leading Wanderers yet to score here at TIO Stadium in Darwin.
Wanderers with the clearance this time. Bit of a wobbler of a kick, but we found a teammate. Now a chip inboard. But Saints working hard in defence, get some numbers across, or bundled off the ball, and holding the ball was the call. Looked more like a bump than a tackle, but the free kick's been paid and will result in a shot on goal for Wanderers.
Yeah, Wanderers a bit slow to start last week too, so you know, there's still 3.5 quarters to go, and they'll be looking to get their first score on the board here now.
Good man to have the ball in the hands of, Aaron Motlop. Talking to his partner Justine at a first birthday party earlier in the year, she was telling me about the gym work that those two have been doing as a couple, and Aaron said to Justine, I'm not doing this for nothing, I want to come back and play. So it's good to see Aaron back playing footy and in good condition.
He's a fantastic footballer and a fantastic bloke as he goes back to take that kick.
No problem at all there. So Wanderers' first goal on the board, and just tightens the game up a bit again. And yeah, Saints had their opportunities to clear it out, but just if you're not clean with your hands, then you put yourself under pressure and your team under pressure, don't you, Shannon?
You talk about limiting your turnovers, and especially in the NTFL, that's probably the biggest source of scoring for teams up here, and Wanderers are probably at the top of the tree with Tiwi Bombers and now Northcliffe in terms of hurting their opposition sides off turnovers.
And there's 3 Motlops out there tonight and 1 coaching. So Shannon Motlop, the coach, and that was his younger cousin Aaron, who kicked the first goal for Wanderers. So at the 15-minute mark, St Mary's 2-3-15, lead Wanderers 1-6.
So Grenfell takes the ball out of the ruck and got a kick forward. Gilbert again working hard on the ground. And Paredes, as usual, in amongst it, gets the kick forward. But ball comes over the pack. Jeffrey with a hand pass. But it's Lachlan Taylor who's out in front first for St Mary's, but couldn't take control of the ball, and it triples over the boundary line for a throw-in. Yeah,
it was Taylor's second game. He got in the awards last week for St Mary's. He moved up from Geelong, where he's from St Joseph's, and he's living with me, actually, Shannon, and I can tell he's very dedicated with his training.
Good to hear.
And everything. And hello to his mum and dad, Jamie and Joe, down there in Geelong, who'll be watching.
Ball comes in. Calder got his hands, well, it swings around with a kick off the ground, but through for a behind only. Braden McLean, as usual, doing the kick-in duties, runs straight out of the goal square and has a couple of bounces, and now kicks long towards the wing. And coming over the top there was Tyler Saunders. He butters up and kicks inside 50. Walters almost took that mark. Brenton Motlop with a kick off the ground. Raph Clark out to Gilbert. Gilbert swings it back to the top of the goal square. Over the back, almost a mark taken, but Wanderers scramble it out, and Brenton Motlop's on the end of that one. He's looking to switch back across goal, changed his mind, and eventually on the left down to the outer half-back flank. Ball's punched over the back and out of bounds once again.
The big fella, Brandon Grenfell's down.
He's hobbling, but I think he might come off for St Mary's.
Got a bit of tape on that left knee. Hopefully it's not anything to do with that, because he's going to be a big loss if he goes down.
Trying to walk away from the trainer there, but not very fast as we see play continue.
So Saints again drive it in forward and down to near where Grenfell's standing. Calder picks this one up, kicks off the outside of the foot. Again, just to the left side of the goal.
Another missed opportunity for St Mary's, and all it does is give Braden McLean a chance to bring the footy out for Wanderers, and he does that better than most.
You've played a lot of footy with Braden McLean and against him, Shannon. He's still fit and playing great footy.
Yeah, I think not having anything happening in the world, as we saw earlier this year, allowed Braden to just get his body right. And I know he put in a pretty big pre-season for the Wanderers guys. He was doing some training as early as June, I believe. And as their captain, we want to step up, and he's certainly done that.
So Aaron Motlop squares the ball, just Mark spilt there, and now St Mary's with the opportunity. Thomas Long runs away, he has a bounce, he's under some pressure, I'm not sure he's aware of it, but gets some support from a teammate and manages to get the kick in. But Williams again across half-back, chips the ball out to the outer half-back flank, out in front of Keenan Smith-Thompson, who goes backwards again, and eventually Wanderers with the kick out of defence, and Aaron Motlop's on the end of this one.
He's having a lot of touches, the veteran Aaron Motlop tonight. A really good reader of the ball.
So Chips it along the wing, but ball spills over the back. Chip looking for Thomas Long, but he couldn't get on the end of it. Does now. Hand pass misses the target. Jillian Turner dives back in and picks up the ball. Eventually bounces out a toe off the ground, but it's Saints who get on the end of it. Calder in battle here with Williams. Calder out in front. Clever work, tapped it forward to his teammate there in Lant, and Lant chipped it across to Gilbert, who takes the mark at about centre-half forward. So Gilbert's had a fair bit of the ball in this first quarter. Shan, what do you think of his chances with a set shot for goal from
He
there?
kicked one from the exact same spot last week after missing one in a very similar spot about 2 minutes before that. So I'm going to say he'll kick this one, but you don't want to put the commentator's curse on him, because I've been a victim of that plenty of times.
So kicks on it away, looks good off the boot. It's straight through the middle, and Saints with their third goal on the board. And yeah, Gilbert's been pretty impressive tonight, getting plenty of the ball across half forward, and got on the end of that one, and with the set shot made no mistake.
Yeah, he has. He played 3 games for St Mary's last year. He's from Melbourne, played for Old Zavs in the amateurs, and he's a friend of Coach Chopper Vallejo, so loves to come up to Darwin every year and play for St Mary's. He was a very good cricketer, but on the cusp of the Victorian contract, but he said he didn't see it through because he didn't like standing in the heat all day, and now he's playing footy in Darwin.
Comes and plays footy up here to get away from it.
So at the 20-minute mark, St Mary's 3-5-23, leading Wanderers 1-6.
So Raph Clark on that hit out. Bates got on the end of it and was caught with the ball, and St Mary's another opportunity to go forward. Here's Gilbert again, tackled as he picked that one up. Clever tap forward by Paredes to the advantage of Yaron. His kick goes inside forward 50, and plenty of pressure down there, but Coolhead McLean gets on the end of it, chips in short to Dre Thompson on the outer half-back flank.
We saw some exciting games by Dre Thompson last year. I'm pretty sure he got a Rising Star nomination. Very fast.
Very fast, and with that afro, you certainly know that he's moving at some speed when you see that.
Yeah,
almost a metre behind him, because he's trying to keep up with him.
So in the meantime, the ball's gone deep into Saints forward area, but again, a shot at goal that misses, and they may rue some of these wasted opportunities as the game wears on.
Yeah, that's right. 8 scoring shots to 1 at the moment, but the margin is not that great. Not as great as it should be for St Mary's fans.
So Williams this time brings the ball in, kicks along to the outer side, and Wanderers a chance to bring the ball in through the corridor. Hands out in front there was Bryden Hodgson, couldn't keep hold of the mark, and Saints recover best. Nick Yaron on the end of this one, chips in here, and mark's taken.
Walters in his first game.
He looks a bit like Jack Musgrove, I think.
I think it might be.
I think it is Jack Musgrove. I think he's moved from defence down to the forward line just to confuse us all. So yeah, Jack Musgrove takes that chest mark and protected the ball really well with front position there, Shannon.
They must have wanted someone who could mark the footy in our forward line. He took 2 intercept marks in the Wanderers' back 50. Now gets a bit of reward with the forward 50 mark and a shot on goal.
He's kicks on the way, he likes it. It's another goal for Saints, their 4th on the board. And yeah, Jack Musgrove always has been that player that can be swung forward or back. And you know, he's had games where he's kicked multiple goals in the past for Saints. But Liz, you were saying he's back to the club. It'll be 3 or 4 years since he's played.
Yeah, he played through for St Mary's as a junior. I think it was only last year that he missed out. He obviously played in that premiership, Shannon, a couple of seasons ago in the back line, took that really important mark in the last quarter. But yeah, he's a tall utility and he can play most positions. So St Mary's made a clever decision there to switch him out of defence into the forward line.
Good work there by Fuller, who kicked the ball forward for Wanderers. Now there's an opportunity. Play on the call. It's bounced. Oh, Braxton Armat just got a finger to it, I think, as the advantage was taken. Bounced in front of him, and it looked like it was going to bounce over his head for a minute, but stretched his full reach and got a touch to it. So a behind only.
Be pretty happy Braxton was on the line there for that catch.
And the quarter time siren has gone. It was all St Mary's in the first quarter. 4-6-30, leading Wanderers 1-1-7. We'll be back after a short break. Welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin on this beautiful October night. So there's the siren goes. St Mary's 4-6-30, leading Wanderers 1-1-7. It was all St Mary's in the first quarter, Shan, quickly.
Yeah, had a lot of forward play, but we weren't able to capitalise with 10 shots on goal to only kick 4 goals. We know that, as we spoke about, Wanderers can come back and, in a swing of football, put some score on the board quickly, so Saints will want to capitalise early.
So Fijo bringing that ball out of defence for Wanderers, and notice that Raph Clark's doing the ruck work early in this second quarter, and it looks like the big fella Grenfell isn't on the ground, so...
Might be having a shower, I reckon. He's not on the bench, the big fella, so big night ahead for Raph in the ruck.
Yeah, is there any backup for him? I think Jack Musgrove's done a bit of ruck work in the past. Maybe that's why he was swung forward.
Yeah, it might be. Good point, Stu.
Liam Fiore's pretty tall out there. I reckon Raph might be the oldest player in the team tonight, Shannon.
Yeah, I think he is. Most of us boys call him Uncle, so yeah. He's doing well to still get around out there with these quick little fellas, is Raph.
He won't be happy with me after saying that, but it was his birthday a few weeks ago, and I did look up how old he was turning, so... As Wanderers bring the ball out of defence. I won't say it on air though, Raph.
So Aaron Motlop here in some space through the corridor. Drives long down towards half forward. Or some clever work there by Michael Mummery. Now kicks around the corner towards goal. No, just missed.
He's looking fit again, Mummery. We know how dangerous he could be, and he was on the draft radar a few years ago, Shannon.
Yeah, good to see him back playing football. He tried to go across the Kiwi Bombers last year. Didn't quite work out for him for whatever reason it might have been, but moved to Wanderers now, and it might be a good fit for him, that club, just the way they're such a tight-knit group, and Michael being a local Darwin boy might fit in there well with him.
So Saints work the ball out of the defence to the wing, but there's Jack Land out there. He just leaning back on that one as he was trying to chip it over to Paredes, and sprayed it out on the full. So a chance for Wanderers to relieve the pressure now. Again with some space in the middle, it's Keenan Smith-Thompson. He goes lateral towards the grandstand side where Ronald Fijo is by himself. He's got a spare player down here in Stanley Tipalura. Tipalura drives down the line here. It's Eddie on the end of this one. He's under plenty of pressure though. It's a terrific tackle by Braxton Arnott. And holding the ball is a call, so a good match up there, but they weren't in the action much in the first quarter. We've hardly called either of them, I don't think, but of course the ball wasn't in Wanderers' forward line too much, so...
Hopefully we get more of that as the night goes on between Eddie and Arnott. That was a good first clash between the boys.
That's a pretty poor option coming out of defence, and it's chopped off by Sean Manor for Wanderers. He kicks in towards centre half forward, looking for Eddie, but good defensive work coming across the front there by Liam Fiore. Now snap round the corner, but it's Jellyman Turner working back for Saints. Takes the mark, and now he plays on, and he's got some players out here. Oh! Lachlan Taylor was unaware that Fijo was standing right there, ran into him, and now Saints with a struggle to work it out. Pushing the back is eventually the call here, and so a bit fortunate Saints, and it's Gilbert who'll stand up and take this free kick at half back.
Just see that lift of intensity defensively by Wanderers, getting a few stops and a few repeat efforts around the forward line now, able to slow down St Mary's ball movement, forcing them to kick short and turn the footy over and take unnecessary risks.
Some really good work there by Musgrove to get himself in space to give an option coming out of defence there. He was went a couple of times and eventually was rewarded with the pass.
He's covering a lot of ground tonight, Jack Musgrove.
So the ball bouncing around in the centre of the ground. It's Tyler Saunders who eventually picks it up and drives the ball forward for Saints. Thomas Long on the end of this one. Couldn't take possession. Tackles McLean now, and the ball spills out. Oh, good hands there by Taylor. Runs in, but his kick's astray. But Coulter almost on the end of that one. Just went over his head and went out of bounds on the full, in fact. And it's Jordan Jeffrey who'll bring the ball in.
Wouldn't have held it against Lockie there to have a shot on goal. I thought he was in space and had a chance to straighten up and have a shot on goal instead of trying to pass that one off and turn it over.
I think Jordan Jeffrey's winning the battle down there against Jackson Calder though so far, Shannon.
Yeah, Jackson hasn't quite had the start that we'd all hope for him, and mostly down to the good work of Jordan, so that'll be a good matchup to watch, as well as the other two big balls on the other end.
Just kicked that into the umpire, which you don't see very often. I think, not sure what's going to go on there.
So it was out on the full, and I think the boundary umpire got caught going the wrong way. And
going to take his kick again.
Got in the space where the Wanderers player wanted to kick the ball.
Might have to cut that one, get the NTFL media team to cut that during the week.
I think it's Dane McFarlane out there. He chips it across, and now Wanderers bring it straight across the face of goal. And Dre Thompson working hard to get on the end of this one.
Yeah, great running, Dre Thompson.
And passes off, and they bring it out of defence down this grandstand wing. Chip inside, Bates picks it up on the half volley, but he's worried out of it. Jacob Long got the hands across. Brendan Motlop overruns that one, but Wanderers with the numbers bring it out. And Dre Thompson's on the end of it again. Hand passes across here to Dane McFarlane. He dodges one player, steadies up and kicks inside 50, looking to kick towards Eddie. The ball was punched from behind. Raph Clark on the end of it. Harry Williams gets a hand pass across, and Saints bring it out again over the back. Calder's waiting for it, doesn't get as far as him, but it's Gilbert. He hand passes to Calder's advantage now. Chose not to take possession of the ball. He was worried out of it in the end. Gilbert again over the ball, and eventually it's paddled over the boundary line for a throw-in.
A much more competitive Wanderers team so far this quarter, Shannon.
Yeah, like we said, that defensive effort's really picked up by the Wanderers, and St Mary's aren't getting the forward entries that they were in that first quarter, so it should come to life a bit more this game.
So Raph Clark reaching over the top. Paredes at the bottom of it, just hoofs it forward about 10 metres. Williams, some good strong work in there. Picked the ball up cleanly and now drives the ball out of defence. Eddie's on the end of this one. Kicks on the left to a one-on-one. There's only two people in there, and Adam Parry was a bit worried about his opponent being in the best position. Wrapped him up with the arms and gave away the free kick.
Yeah, he's one that he'll get defenders worrying if this guy gets up and about Michael Mummery. He can do it all. He can take a really good mark. He's really good on the deck. Really dangerous around goal, and we just saw then cause a bit of panic. Parry searching for him, pull the jumper, give him a shot on goal.
And Wanderers had isolated him with a one-on-one down there, gave him the whole forward 50 arc basically, and so he's been rewarded for his effort there. Now just the opportunity to finish off and pull Wanderers back a bit closer on the scoreboard. Pretty casual approach to the ball, and unfortunately he's dragged that one to the left.
He was actually the youngest player to ever play for NT Thunder's senior NEFL team, Shannon. Do you remember that back in 2016?
I think I remember it.
I think it was
against Canberra?
Yeah,
he kicked 3 goals in his debut game, and just some pretty special things back there, and hopefully we can see him get back to that level of football once again.
Yeah, he's very talented. And hello to his dad, who's a good friend of ours, comes to the footy every week as well.
So Saints just chipping it around in the defensive 50, eventually bring it down the wing here, and ball on the ground, and he wasn't under much pressure there, and called it. That's the way the umpire's seen it. Shane Manor just walked it over the boundary line, and deliberate's been paid, so it's Harry Williams who's the recipient of the free kick there. Play on's the call as he stepped inside the field of play, kicks long. Calder on the end of this, but there's plenty of Wanderers players around him as well. Scissor kick over the top, but Williams dropping back in the hole, and he's been pretty impressive in defence for Wanderers tonight.
Yeah, he's very solid. He was good last week as well. He's from down in Mildura way, where he played with Shannon Motlop, and he's played for Wanderers the last couple of seasons.
So chip in here to McFarlane. He goes short again. Finds Matthew Motlop, hand passes back to McFarlane, and he drives the ball down looking for Jabaston Priest there, but it slips over the back. Braxton Armatt and Eddie again do battle. Eddie too strong, pushed him out of the way, got the kick round the corner, but Jacob Logg read it best, sat in the hole, and now he's looking to play on and switch it to the grandstand side where he's got Jellyman Turner here. He takes the mark. Jellyman Turner goes short to Harry Williams, picks it up off the bootlaces, and now drives it straight down this grandstand side. Thomas Long there took the ball off the pack, Oh, good hand pass inside, and Jellyman Turner's worked hard to get there and help out again. A good kick inside, reaching over the top to spoil was Jordan Jeffrey, illegally according to the umpire.
Please.
Not much more there Jordan could have done. The kick was absolutely perfect by Jellyman to Raf, and position A1 for Raf, and Jordan had to just put that hand on the shoulder of Raf to affect that spoil, but I thought he did really well. Unlucky there.
So Clark, Jackson Calder, standing tall, takes the ball at his at the highest point, and he'll go back for what is probably his first effective kick for the night, with a shot on goal from about 20 out.
The champ, they call him, at St Mary's. He's a bit of a cult figure over there. His first season last year from Mornington in Victoria, and as we know, he likes to kick it bag in some games.
And that one straight through the middle. So the first goal of the second quarter, again to St Mary's, after Wanderers had some opportunities, but couldn't get the goal on the board.
And some good play there by Jellyman Turner. He's probably the neatest footballer I've seen for a long, long time, with the shorts and the jumper tucked in, Shannon.
Looking pretty tidy out there. Got the nice bright yellow heels and the Nikes, and he bit of blonde tip going on the hairdo, and he's got a bit of a stylish trim going on with that, and a bit of ink work. So probably prides himself on his appearance, and if you're playing football like that, I don't mind it.
I'm going to call him the package, Shan, after that description from you. So just past the 11-minute mark of the second quarter, St Mary's 5-6-36, leading Wanderers 1-3-9.
Jeff Aston Priest this time got up high, got his hand to the ball. Oh, again, kicked into his back of his teammate.
If it's not umpire, it's teammates.
It looks like a high tackle there over the ball. And it's Jellyman Turner again. He's also got the brightest boots on the ground, I think. So
he's the package, dude.
I'll give him that for someone who, you know, you might think he's got that pretty boy tag. He does go in really hard as Jellyman. So, like you did say, Liz, got it all, the package.
Yeah, he got an award last week for St Mary's, and is he a personal trainer, or he just works very hard in his fitness, going to the gym every day?
We were following his journey in isolation out at Howard Springs, and he was doing a run every morning at 5 a.m. and then he was doing a lunchtime workout. So he came out of there in pretty good shape, and he's kept that up. Sunday morning, I think the week before round one, a few of the boys were heading home after a night in town, and they ran into the Jellyman going for a run.
That's what I do every day, don't you, Shan? Just a run in the morning and gym at lunchtime.
Oh, maybe run around with the little fella, but...
So the ball deep in Wanderers' forward line, but it's St Mary's with their hands on the ball, working it around with hand passes until a switching kick to Liam Fiore, and he takes a bounce and hits a target here.
He had one option there, and that was Josh O'Brien, and Liam hit that kick perfectly and got it to him.
Looks like he's got a lot of time, Liam, when he has possession of the ball.
Really good ball user. Someone, like you said, he's a bit tall, but he's a really good ball user. I'm not sure if he's a left foot or a right foot, so it probably speaks to how good of a ball user he is. So he does really well to find space and then use the footy.
The champ again, Jackson Calder, for 3 seconds.
So the free kick was against Aaron Motlop, which was a bit touch and go, I think, but Harry Williams made the most of it and had an option at centre half forward, but chose to go long, and Calder, standing tall again, won it over the back and walked into the goal basically for the second of the quarter, and that really stretches Saints' lead out to over 5 goals now.
Yeah, that's right, and it's 5 goal kickers for St Mary's, a good spread. Jack Musgrove with 1, Tom Gilbert, 2 to Jackson Calder, 1 to Dustin Walters and 1 to Thomas Long, while Aaron Motlop is the only goal kicker for Wanderers. So 13.5-minute mark, St Mary's 6-42, lead Wanderers 1-3-9, Shannon.
Yeah, they've done well to even up the scoreboard there with a couple more goals this quarter than what they had in the first, so bit of reward for their effort.
Yeah, 3 straight this quarter. 2 straight, sorry.
So ball works its way towards the grandstand wing, working hard in there was Fijo. Hand pass comes out to Manor eventually, and now back to Aaron Motlop. He drives the ball down towards the forward 50, and some good work in there by Stanley Tipalura, but his kick wasn't the best, and trickles away out of bounds in the left forward pocket. Jacob Long was first there, but couldn't keep it in play.
Yeah, Ronnie Fijo's one I really love for Wanderers. He captained the Wanderers under-18 boys to 2 premierships. He was a Rising Star nomination, and he's been playing Premier League for the last 2 seasons. He's really speedy, and I'm a big fan of Ronnie Fijo from Wanderers.
Well, Eddie, too strong doing the ruck work there, made his way to the front, tapped it to himself, and then was tackled high. So he's a renowned goal kicker, Ken Palmer medalist in the NTFL a couple of times, I think, and you would think that this one would be pretty easy fodder for him. Raph Clark on the mark. He's been on the ball for the whole of this quarter so far doing the ruck work. But Eddie's kick on the way. Goal umpire makes a little bit of ground, but I think he snuck it inside that right-hand goal post for Wanderers' second goal and their first of the quarter.
And he was Wanderers' hero last week, getting that mark and doing the quick hands off to Simon Bates, Shannon, who kicked the goal in the dying seconds of the game to give Wanderers the win. So a good goal there by Brett Eddy.
Yeah, really good for Wanderers to get that reward for their defensive effort. I thought defensively they've been really good, stopping St Mary's switch, putting pressure on up the ground instead of relying on their backs to win the ball like they did in that first quarter. And they were the ones to not convert their opportunities. Now they have.
The big fella's back on the ground. Brentford up in the goal square. So
good spot there, Stu.
Yeah, so he's got out of the shower, Shannon, and made his way to full forward.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he is able to get through the ruck or if it's going to be left up to Raffy tonight.
So Dre Thompson.
Williams again.
Back to Williams.
Really good across half back so far tonight.
Yep. And McLean in short to McFarlane on the outer wing. He's looking to bring the ball back in the corridor, kicks towards centre half forward where there's plenty of space. Aaron Motlop runs onto it now, runs inside 50 on the left foot, tries to hook it back. It's Culhane underneath this one, but Jacob Long puts plenty of pressure on him, knocks it away. Bates picks up. Culhane again gets a hand pass out the back. Fijo's there as well. And Jacob Long in over the ball again. And now Wanderers the opportunity, but free kick's been found. And it's Simon Bates who will take that free kick. Braxton Armat wasn't very happy about it, but it's Bates who will take the free kick, and if he has the shot, he'll be kicking from about 50.
Yeah, I might be out of range a bit for Bates. He likes the closer goals, Shannon, and as I said again, last week's hero kicking that winning goal for Wanderers. How do you think he'll go here?
He can run pretty fast, so you'd think he'd have some strong muscles in those legs. I've seen him kick some long goals on the run, but set shot might test him a bit, but I wouldn't put it past Batesy.
Got some momentum coming into it, and just offline and through. There's a whistle here.
Push in the back, I believe.
No.
No. Oh, well, alarms are cool. I don't know if the behind was signalled. Doesn't look like it. So Harry Williams on the end of it, on the outer side now in front of the TIO scoreboard, and he drives the ball long. There's plenty of Wanderers players around here. Thomas Long works his opponent under the ball but couldn't take it, and now a sweeping hand pass from Brody Newman, and it's Wanderers again coming out of defence. First to the ball there is Culhane, gets it to Dre Thompson. Thompson butters up and helps his teammate out after the fumble, and a great kick inside 50. Straight onto the chest of Brett Eddy, out in front of Braxton Armat again.
Really impressive there by Dre Thompson, a junior of the club, Shannon.
Yeah, that leg speed coming into the game once again, followed up his mistake, just missed that first handball, got it back and made sure of it and put it onto the chest of Brett Eddy. We'll see how he goes here.
Eddy's kick's on the way. This one he's snuck inside the left-hand goalpost, so he knows what he's doing, and that's 2 in a row to Wanderers now, and they sorely needed him after that lead had blown out to over 5 goals. So right back in the game in the late stages of the second quarter at TIO Stadium. Yeah,
2 in a row for Wanderers and 2 in a row for Brett Eddy. So a 20-point margin now. St Mary's 6-6-42, leading Wanderers 3-4-22. Shannon.
Yeah, just that turnover there across half-back for Wanderers. They had the outnumber. The long kick went to the turnover zone, as we call it St Mary's sometimes, and probably everyone else around the country. But just that kick to the turnover zone, as it's called, got turned over. Wanderers took the footy forward and capitalised.
So Adam Parry's gone into the ruck for St Mary's. He used his body a bit against Fuller and managed to nullify it a bit, but it's Wanderers who look to break away from that centre stoppage, and eventually they do. The kick comes in. Just took his eyes off the ball there, and Jellyman Turner butted up and clears for St Mary's along this grandstand wing. Harry Williams just took the ball out of bounds as he was looking to hand pass over the top, and it'll be a boundary throw in.
If that was his intention, he hit it pretty well. We saw that deliberate before against the Wanderers player, so how he meant that or not, and snuck it in really well.
So the ball comes to the pack in front, and good work there by Sean Manor. Again, we've got a one-on-one inside forward 50. And it's Eddie again this time. Braxton Armad had found the front position, but Eddie just used his body well, nudged him under the ball. Braxton thinks he got pushed, but umpire says no, and Brett Eddie will have his third set shot for the quarter. He's converted the earlier two, and this one would bring the margin back to 14 points late in the second quarter. So kicks on the way now, and no problem whatsoever. So a really impressive display from Eddie from the middle stages of this second quarter, really starting to stamp his authority on the game in that forward line. And I don't know if Braxton's the answer there, Shannon.
Yeah, we might have to give Eddie the win this quarter, I reckon. He's done really well, and I think that's come on the back of Wanderers getting on top in the midfield. They've won a lot more stoppages and stop play work than they were in that first quarter, and it's just having to coincide with Brett Eddie getting on top of Braxton. So hopefully for Saints, Braxton can get back on top there, and they can get back on top in the midfield as well.
What a beautiful kick off the boot it was too, as Wanderers take it out of the middle once again. 2 bounces, 3 bounces, 4 bounces, and a good shepherd there.
And now a high kick in towards the top of the goal square. Tyler Saunders coming across the front, got his hands to the ball, forced it to the ground, and eventually out of bounds. So a really impressive run there from Dane McFarlane off the around the back in the centre square there, and 4 bounces, and Wanderers find themselves with a stoppage deep in their forward line again at the airport end of the ground. So Eddie doing the ruck work. He took the ball out of the ruck, left foot snap, but didn't bring it back far enough, and misses this time.
He's doing it all tonight, Eddie. In a bit of a hot streak, so why not let him?
So Jacob Long brings that one into Fiore, deep in the pocket. He chips it along the half back line, but that one's just got a bit too much on it over the head of Josh O'Brien. But a free kick here to Wanderers right in front of the TIO scoreboard. Chip in short, and that's Cabillo on the end of that one.
Spoke about Nate Paredes being really good at drawing that high tackle. Braden McLean is another one who's mastered that technique and, tested it well there against Nate and got the high free kick.
So it's Fiore again for Saints deep in the back pocket. Ticked over 23 minutes in this second quarter, so getting close to the end of it. He's looking to switch into the goal square. Kick was good.
And there's the siren for half-time. So it's St Mary's 6-6-42 leading Wanderers 4-5-29. A much better second quarter for Wanderers, Shannon.
Yeah, they defended really well. They were getting numbers back behind the footy and then able to transition it forward really well, and we saw Brett Eddie capitalise on that for them.
Yeah, Stu, some of your better players so far today?
Yeah, look, I've been impressed with Williams across half-back for Wanderers, and Braden McLean as usual. Aaron Motlop's had a fair bit of the ball, and I've really liked a couple of the young fellas, Ronald Fijo and Dre Thompson for Wanderers. Saints has been a pretty even effort. Raf going into the ruck has been important, I think. Raf Clark, he did most of that quarter, and Paredes, as usual, is in and under the ball, and again, some of the young fellas in Lockie Taylor's had a bit of the ball. Jellyman Turner's had a fair bit of the ball. So Yeah, look, Saints blew it out. Jackson Calder kicked the first 2 goals of that second quarter, and then Wanderers came back with 3 goals to Brett Eddy. So we've got a real contest on our hands at half-time.
We sure do. It was 23 points at quarter time, 13 points at half-time. We'll take a short break and we'll be back very, very soon. Well, welcome back to TIO Stadium in Darwin for round 2 of the TIO NTFL 2020-21 season. My name's Liz Cruz. Joining me tonight, Shannon Rioli and Stu Davis. We've got St Mary's and Wanderers here battling it out. Earlier in the day, Palmerston defeated Tiwi quite easily. Nightcliff defeated Waratah. Buffs defeated Crocs in a bit of an upset, and now we've got Saints and Wanderers to round the weekend out. Shannon, a good first half.
Yeah, Wanderers did really well in that second quarter to get things going their way again, and should be in for a really good second half as the game wears on and space opens up for an exciting Wanderers team.
Good work in there by Gilbert at the bottom of the pack. Fished out the hand pass to Lockie Taylor, but Braden McLean.
One-hander.
Terrific, and switches the ball to the outer side. Oh, a leg looked like there, Keenan Smith-Thompson. And he's looking for options forward, not much there. Decides to go long. Joe Baston-Priest first there, but hands over the back. Simon Bates, the speedster, takes off with a bounce, has another one. He's under some pressure now, kicks from 50 towards the goal square. Tyler Saunders working back. That's gone all the way without being touched, I think. And Simon Bates, dangerous when he gets out the back, Shannon.
Yeah, got those bright yellow boots moving along pretty quickly there. I thought Dylan Land did well to put him under pressure, but Bates, as we know, he's super damaging, pretty quick, good left foot. Good start for Wanderers there, just what they need.
Yeah, and that margin's gone back to 8 points. Just 1 minute into the third quarter, St Mary's 6-6-42, leading Wanderers 5-4-34.
So the big fella Grenfell is back in the centre from the start of this third quarter, so that's good to see.
I went down at half time and I was told he just twisted his knee a bit, so he's okay.
So he wins this hit out, but Wanderers have read it best. The hand pass comes back. Brenton Motlop spills that one, but recovers well enough to pick up and drive the ball forward. Jacob Long worked Matthew Motlop under that one and took the mark and kicked down the line. Some heavy work from Brenton Motlop, all fair according to the umpires. And it's Gilbert who took that mark out in front of him.
Doesn't mind a bit of the body contact, Brenton. A bit of a rugby background as well, and one of the enforcers of that Wanderers team in their midfield.
Nicky Aaron switches that one straight across the centre of the ground to centre half forward, and Wanderers have got the numbers here to work it out. Kick comes out now from Brodie Newman. He's got a couple of players out here. Eventually it's Fijo who takes possession, has a look around and then chips down the line, and Wanderers again being corralled there by a couple of St Mary's players, but good enough to work it out. They're looking to run the ball backwards about 30 metres here, but maintaining possession. I'm not sure. Williams has taken the ball right back to centre half back now, and Brenton Motlop was in some space, and he switches to the outer side of the ground, and Wanderers have worked that pretty well in the end. It's Aaron Motlop, chips back inside the corridor, and Williams there again at centre half back, and now chips it out wide, and Brenton Motlop's dropped another one off the chest, and but recovers with a hand pass back, and now kick along the wing line. Coming in, that's a bit of a crude attempt there by
unnecessary.
Motlop.
In the middle of all that, we had Dane McFarlane down in the middle of the ground, which you probably couldn't see off screen. Got a big hit in the ribs, Shan, but he's up and about finally.
Yeah, I think one of the Saints players just came off the half-forward line there and collected him, so
Dermot Brett.
the game he's all right.
Oh, Jacko Calder around the body, but has missed again.
So Saints a bit fortunate to get their hands on the ball there. They just look a bit disorganised going forward at the moment, so just need to tidy that up a bit. It's Fijo out here, and he drives it along the half-back flank, finds Sean Manor out in front of Lockie Taylor. Manor kicks back into the centre square where there's about 4 Wanderers players waiting for it. Joe Baston-Priest takes the mark, wheels around and plays on and kicks long towards the goal square. Jellyman almost took that mark, but it's Wanderers again on the ground, going one way and then the other was McFarlane. He saw a loose player in there. Took the mark and wandered off.
Nobody on the mark.
So Bryden Hodgson there, and there were a couple of Saints players there just unaware of what was going on.
Yep, absolutely caught napping St Mary's there. They need to pull their socks off after such a good first quarter. They've allowed Wanderers back into the game, and it's just a 3-point ball game, Shannon.
Yeah, 2 goals in 4.5 minutes of play. We saw Saints do really well to force Wanderers back, but that probably played in the Wanderers' hands, allowed them to switch, and they've used their spread really well since the start of the second quarter to get blokes into space, and we saw that spread come into effect when they had 4 guys loose in the middle of the ground just before that inside 50 there.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier. You never, ever give them an inch, Wanderers. We've had so many, or St Mary's have had so many close games in the last 10 years, and we've got that now at the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. St Mary's 6-7-43, leading Wanderers 6-4-40.
So it's Fuller this time doing the ruck work and getting the clearance, drives the ball long to half forward. Ball comes over the back. Manor kicks in towards the top of the goal square. Another opportunity. Oh, there's a free kick being paid here, and it's St Mary's free kick.
St Mary's, yeah. Tyler Saunders back in the team this week. He was playing rugby for Nightcliff Dragons and had a little injury at the end of the season, and St Mary's will be pleased to have him back, Shannon.
Yeah, got chosen in our leadership group this week that the coach Anthony Vallejo announced at training, and someone who's been around the club now for a couple of years, played a bit of thunder footy and gives us a lot in back, and we can also go through the midfield if we need it.
So eventually they sort it out, and he kicks towards the outer side where Ralph Clark's waiting for it, loops the hand pass forward, and Hayden Walters there now kicks high towards the wing. Harry Williams over the top of Dre Thompson, but he's outnumbered.
Good battle of a couple of young guns there. St Mary's getting Harry Williams across from Nightcliff this year, Shane.
Yeah, it came across. I'm not sure what the connection was there. I think he might just be mates with a couple of our younger guys, and we're really happy to have him. He's brought a lot, especially on the training track with his high fitness level, and he's a pretty good physical specimen, and hopefully he'll go well for us this year.
Ball on the ground with plenty of players over the top of it, so umpire Howarth will come in and try to restart proceedings here.
Well, it's a battle of the second-year coaches. Anthony Vallejo is obviously not coaching tonight, Darren Gilbert, and Shannon Motlop as well, and this game could go any which way at the moment.
So we've got a high tackle here. It's a Wanderers free kick, and it's Sean Manor again on the outer side.
He was good last week too, Manor. Had a really good first-up game for Wanderers.
Drills this one towards centre half forward. It comes off hands over the back. Hand pass comes inboard. It's Hodgson again down there. He's tackled this time over the ball. Play on's the call, and Saints trying to work it out, but turns into a bit of a rugby maul in the end, and we'll have a restart once again.
Well, there's 3 premiership runners out there tonight in the purple. We've got Henry Labastida and Iggy Vallejo for St Mary's, and JJ Motlop for Wanderers, so that's some pretty good talent in the purple, Shane.
Yeah, the coaches would be happy to have so much experience passing that, the message on, and hopefully a bit of their own advice to the players.
Ralph Clark fished this one forward this time, but only as far as Dre Thompson. Williams around the back once again, receives the hand pass and drives the ball forward, but forced out of bounds in the right forward pocket for Wanderers at the Michael Long centre end.
Yeah, getting towards the 8-minute mark now of the third quarter, and as we said, just a 3-point ball game. St Mary's will rue those missed goal opportunities in the first quarter, Shane.
Yeah, we spoke about how dangerous Wanderers can be, and you can never count them out, like you said, Liz, and we've seen that now. They've kicked 2 goals early, and they're looking like they're on top of the moment with all the forward territory that they've got so far in this quarter.
So Williams continues on. He chops it off again and drives Wanderers back inside forward 50. Eddie and Matt doing some body work there. A hook around the corner, but didn't get enough on it, and it's out of bounds on the full. Might have been a better option to let it bounce out of bounds, I think, but looking for the opportunity. Yeah, so Wanderers kicked the last 3 goals of the second quarter and the first 2 of this quarter, so 5 in a row has brought them back to within 3 points. And Ralph Clark standing on this one, had the arms chopped there, and will take the free kick.
Good block there by Walters, just to allow Ralph to take that mark uncontested, but get his arms chopped, had a free run of the footy.
So Clark looking to go short, but Wanderers players closed and put some pressure on. Saunders the opportunity now, hand passes forward, misses the target. back in there again. Gray Thompson's over it as well for Wanderers. Manor in there doing some strong work in and under and gets the hand pass out. Oh, that tackle should have been made, but Wanderers go forward and it's McFarlane who kicks long towards goal, but this one's offline. So he received the hand pass there from Hodgson, who's got himself in the game early in this third quarter with a goal and a couple of good possessions.
Recovered from those that hit to the ribs he got before, as we see Dre Thompson and Marcus Totham keep that in for Wanderers.
Nick Yarran on the end of this one gets a good hand pass, and Williams brings it out of defence down the wing. Calder pushes his opponent away, but not enough, and the ball comes off Jordan Jeffrey and out of bounds.
Been very good tonight, Jordan Jeffrey. I think he's on top of Jackson Calder. He's kicked just the 2 goals, but Jeffrey's held in quite well for Wanderers.
I think he might have snuck away from Jeffrey for those 2 goals, did Calder.
The umpire's going to recall that. Wasn't happy with the throw-in. Got a bit of a sore shoulder.
Tennis elbow or something.
Yeah. Be a hard job throwing the ball backwards over your head, I reckon.
There were some really deep throw-ins in the games that I saw last week, so maybe they're putting a bit of extra emphasis on that distance on the throw.
The umpire has called a free kick to Raph Clark.
Clark drives the ball down out in front of Calder, but ball spills over the back and bounces out of bounds at half forward for St Mary's at the airport end of the ground.
Well, it's also the St Mary's end of the ground where all the supporters sit, and I duck down quickly at half time to say happy 92nd birthday to Vic Ludwig, Uncle Vic from St Mary's, a stalwart of football up here in the Northern Territory. I think he was the longest serving president in Australia, Shannon, there at one stage.
42 years, I think he did for the club, so I think that's some sort of record in any organisation, so well done and great.
We'll be happy with that goal, Vic Ludwig, as St Mary's put one through
Jack Lant.
First gamer. So they've hit the lead by 8 points at the 11.5 minute mark, 9:7:43, leading Wanderers 6:5:41. Tell us a bit about Jack Lant, Shannon.
Came up here with his brother Dylan, who I think is wearing number 26. From the Sunbury area, down in Victoria, just out of Melbourne. Signed up with Doodle Stars in the NTFL.
That's Dylan, I think. Yeah.
And Dylan played a bit of footy last year with Essendon in the VFL. I think I saw that he won their Rising Star, and he's been training really well and came up with some big raps. So hopefully we'll see more of these 2 boys going this year.
Raph Clark reached over the top. The hit out to Parry. Well, Atlanta was clear forward. Free kicks paid, advantages paid, and Braden McLean takes it away, and that's Hodgson out in front. Takes this mark on the outer wing. He wanders off now, looking for options forward, and drives the ball inside 50 out in front of the big fella there in Eddie, but the handball went through his hands that time, but off the ground. Aaron Motlop couldn't quite get enough purchase on it. Colhane around the corner, but again a minor score for Wanderers.
You had it noted down before, Liz, the amount of yellow out there. I think Braxton Matt might have just got a bit confused with some yellow shorts and a yellow jumper and sort of handballed that one back into the corridor to I'm not quite sure who to, and it, luckily for Saints, didn't lead to a Wanderers goal.
There is a lot of yellow out there. You don't see that colour used that much in football, so except maybe Hawthorn, but yeah, green and gold as we call St Mary's. And the Muck-Mucks have got their away strip, which I'm pretty sure is designed by someone out in Nhulunbuy, where they've got a really strong association with out there.
So Saints had worked the ball pretty well out of defence, but then just a bit of a lazy kick and saw it slide over out on the full. And speaking of which, the kick in has gone out on the full as well.
And just over Terry Cabillo's head, she's one of the Water Angels out there in pink. She and Desley Motlop and Rachel Ruggio do a great job for Wanderers every week, and they're called the Water Angels down there, just in front of the Shannon Motlop stand over there.
Yeah, I don't think the Wanderers boys will be too happy with that one, blocking their view, but it's nice that it's set up over there. If you want another look at the game, it's a pretty good spot if you want to set up. If you don't get rained on, there isn't much coverage over there.
So they've ruled here that the ball actually never came into play, so it's a boundary throw in from where the kick was taken. Oh, bursting out of the pack there
Jack Lant
was
again.
Jack Lant for Saints, but Braden McLean chopping it off across half back. He chips it in towards centre half back. A bit Yarran.
A bit late, Nicky.
That was a bit late and a bit high from Nick Yarran. And it's a 50-metre penalty, and if he's not careful, there'll be another one.
Yes, there is. So a bit going on behind play there, and I think Nick might come off for a break after that. In his first game back for St Mary's this season.
He's always played with a bit of aggression and a lot of emotion, Nick Yarran, so he just might have got a bit heated there and didn't like the attention he copped after giving away the 50, so might just need to
Cool his
chill out
jets.
on the bench as he's made his way over now.
So Brody Newman
Oh, wow.
Lets him off the hook. Big
was the
time.
beneficiary of the double 50-metre penalty. Took him to the end of the goal square, really, but a poor attempt at goal.
And the umpire's going to ask St Mary's that Jacob Long to take that back and have his kick again. Well, Nicky Yarran, a famous surname, but he's actually the grandson of Robbie Cooper on his mum's side, who's a NTFL legend.
Buffalo's legend.
Buffalo's legend. He played for Nightcliff as well and loves a yarn, Robbie Cooper. Hello if you're watching.
Oh, Jack Lant just keeps it into Jellyman Turner, and now he plays on and kicks down along the wing here. Thomas Long working hard over the ball there, and it bounces out over the boundary line and we'll have a throw-in. So just starting to get a bit willing here, as we know these clashes can between St Mary's and Wanderers, and players probably just need to settle things down a bit, concentrate on the footy, and only a goal the difference. Raph Clark's worked his way to the front. The ball bounces back to him, so he takes it and plays on inside forward 50. Oh, almost a mark there. Thomas Long gets a hand pass out the back. Hook around the corner now. Looks pretty good. It's just fading at the last minute. And that was Dustin Walters who had that shot.
Yeah, he kicked one very early in the game, in the first quarter, I think, and that one just missed. So 16.5-minute mark, St Mary's 7-8-50, leading Wanderers 6-7-43.
A lot more space now for guys to run and carry, as we saw Raff did before and Warwick Williams just now. You look at the Wanderers guys streaming forward, they've got themselves into the game really well with their spread.
So Fuller is on the end of that, kicks the ball inside forward 50. Eddie's out there now, hand passes underground to a teammate, but couldn't control the ball, and eventually another boundary throw in on the other side.
Wanderers have done well since the second quarter, really slow up St Mary's through the middle of the ground as they're trying to move the footy forward. They're switching the ball as you'd want in the back half, but then when they get to the middle third of the ground, Wanderers are slowing up St Mary's forward play really well and getting turnovers and shallow entries, allowing them to turn the footy over across the half-back line for them.
So just waiting for the boundary throw in here, and eventually we get restarted. Ball comes over the back there. Eddie gets a quick kick forward. Jacob Long's in front, read it best, and controlled the ball really well. Ran the ball out of defence and then kicked down to the wing. Now some numbers with Saints as Raph Clark comes in, finds a teammate in the middle of the ground, and Thomas Long's found some space out wide on the wing here. He takes a mark. He kicks down the line. Looks like Williams on the end of this one, and takes an amazing mark in the end, really just stuck in his arms, kicked it around the corner, and found his teammate there.
Really good push there by Josh O'Brien. He had that kick in the centre of the ground to Thomas Long, who switched it out and able to get on the end of that after a good gut run, after a really good Harry Williams mark, I think it was. He was interfered with front on and somehow marked that, and nice little snap around the corner to Josh.
Yeah, Josh is another one who's joined St Mary's from Nightcliff. He grew up playing for Nightcliff, went to Waratah for a bit, but has joined St Mary's for this season as he goes back and takes his shot on goal.
Oh, the kick looks pretty good. The fans in the stand like it, and so does Josh O'Brien, arm in the air, and getting congratulated by his teammates now. So some really good work by O'Brien off the ball initially, then found space, got to the right place, got on the end of the kick coming in, and a really good finish from deep in this pocket.
And that all came off the back of Jacob Long's effort there on the full back line. Attacked the footy, bouncing ball, could have went over his head, could have went under his legs. He won the footy, cleared his defensive zone. Saints were able to then switch the footy through the centre of the ground, which I did say they'd been a bit poor in so far since the first quarter. They can keep that up.
Yeah, well said, Shannon. And Josh's dad, Steve O'Brien, will be pretty happy with that. Steve worked here at AFLNT for many years in the football operations department. So hopefully he's got a St Mary's shirt on now to support his son as the umpire goes back to ball it up at the 19.5-minute mark. St Mary's 8-8-56, leading Wanderers 6-7-43.
Grenfell thumps it forward. And again, O'Brien on the end of this one, hand passed over his head. But Wanderers with the numbers there. Aaron Motlop's set up on as he picked up the ball. Strong tackle there, but it's Wanderers who pick it up and clear it away. Matthew Motlop finds Keenan Smith-Thompson on the outer side of the ground. His kick goes high, not really to the advantage of his teammate. Liam Fiore picked it up pretty well and chopped that one off.
Fiore or Fiore, Shannon?
I have not heard the correct pronunciation yet. I'll have to ask him that at training this week or even back at the club after the game.
He's a bit of a quiet guy, Liam, but yeah, he's been good tonight.
So Chick comes in here to Manor, who's really been impressive in this third quarter, done some hard work and drives the ball forward or overrun that one. And now an opportunity there from McFarlane, breaks the tackle, gets it to Fijo, kicks towards goal, over the top. And easy as you like, Michael Mummery worked his opponent under the ball and just tapped it off the ground from about a metre out in the end. So
yeah, Wanderers' 7th goal there. Michael Mummery's first. As you said, a bit casual, Shannon, but got the job done.
Yeah, he gave us all the eyes like he thought the ball was rolling over the goal line there, but he knew exactly what it was doing. One of those talented blokes who seems to know what the ball's doing before everyone else. And as Tyler Saunders went for the spoil and fell over, Michael just strolled in and poked one over the goal line. Yeah,
it shows how important it is to keep your feet, especially close to goals. So 21.5-minute mark, St Mary's 8-8-56, leading Wanderers 7-7-49. There can't be too much left of this quarter to go.
Grenfell again taps to himself and then hooks it out over the back. And Saints get the clearance down towards half forward. Good contest there, but Williams once again tidying up for Wanderers. Kicks the ball back into the centre square. Mark wasn't taken. Jacob Long working hard out there. Ball's on the ground. And eventually it works out. And it's Long and Fijo battling for this one. Fijo wins out, but his hand pass is chopped off. But only as free kicks paid. Advantage is played. Hand pass comes over the top from Lockie Taylor. Kick inboard from Dustin Walters to the goal square. Raph Clark almost fell in his lap. He does brilliantly to dive on top of it, hook it back in, but Wanderers had the numbers and they work it out at defence now. And Simon Bates gets on his bike on the half-back flank, chips inside looking for Warwick Williams there. Williams some clever footwork, and he drives the ball forward where there's 3 players everywhere for Wanderers. Mummery stutters a bit, but eventually finds one of those 3 players deep in the forward pocket. And we'll just settle things down here. It's Eddie, of course, who's taken that mark, and no better hands to have it in as far as Wanderers are concerned from there, I would think.
Gee, he was free for a long time.
Plays on now, hooks the ball around. I think he's cut this
missed
one fine, and yeah, just missed on the near side. So
that was pretty impressive by Wanderers though, Shannon.
Yeah, really quick, like we spoke about how explosive they are. Simon Bates dashing out, down along the wing. Michael Mummery, nice bit of vision there to spot Eddie up in the pocket. Not sure how much he saw of Eddie, but he knew he was there, and he hit him with a really nice kick around the corner under some pressure.
So Gilbert drives this one out of defensive 50. Bates again there. This one slews off the side of his boot and bounces out of bounds about 60 metres around from the Wanderers' goal at the Michael Long centre end of TIO Stadium.
There's the siren for 3-quarter time. St Mary's 8-8-56 take a 6-point margin into the last quarter. Wanderers 7-8-50. Shan, just quickly, how did you see that quarter?
Wanderers doing really well to keep this game alive. St Mary's, I thought, had a momentum spell, and then Wanderers had a momentum spell, so we should be in for a really good last quarter here, Liz.
Yeah, that's right. And Stu, just a couple of better players in your books?
Yeah, I thought Sean Manor was good in that quarter, and Simon Bates always dangerous out the back. As I said before, I think Ricky Nolan still has nightmares about Simon Bates in some of those grand finals.
I do.
I do.
Yeah, and for Saints, Raph Clark's been a power. Tyler Saunders has done some good work in the back half as well, and Jacob Long's been really steady back there and backed himself. And so, what a game we've got on our hands. 6 points the difference at three-quarter time.
Absolutely, and Wanderers are coming, and we saw what they did last week in pretty much one of the last kicks of the game where Batesy kicked the winning goals. It was 23 points at quarter time, 12 points at half time, and now it's just 6 points the difference at TIO Stadium. We'll be back for the last quarter very soon. Well, welcome back to the final quarter of the St Mary's versus Wanderers game here at TIO Stadium in Darwin for round 2. It's St Mary's with a 6-point lead as the umpire holds the ball left. Anything could happen in the last quarter. Let's get it underway, Stu.
So it's Grenfell and Priest. Grenfell wins this hit out. Priest gets the second punch to it. Jellyman Turner coming off the back of the square. He's tackled as he picked up the ball. It's spilled out, and now Wanderers take it inside forward 50. Oh, Eddie with some good work there, hooks around on the left foot towards goal. It looks like a pretty good finish, and he's kicked his 4th for the game and tied up the scores. So what a game we've got here. Saints blew the lead out over 5 goals early, but Wanderers have looked the stronger in the latter stages of this game since about halfway through that second quarter, Shannon.
30 seconds in and probably got his reward, attacked the footy. Tyler Saunders went with the bump, missed him, swung on the left foot, which I didn't know he was capable of, and banged a nice one to get us underway, Stu. All things square.
Well, you called it in the first quarter, Shannon. You said never underestimate Wanderers. They always come back, and there's a big rivalry between these two teams. So it's 8-8-56 apiece.
And they'll have that belief as well that they can make something of this game with that momentum now.
Especially after last week when they won in the dying minutes of the game after trailing for the whole game, as they take it out of the middle again. Aaron Motlop.
And that's terrific kick, and it's that man Eddie again out in front. A terrific kick inside by Aaron Motlop to his advantage. He just had to run on the ball, even though Braxton Armat was right on his shoulder. He just had to run onto it, and hands out in front, took the mark, and he'll take another set shot from about 35 out. And he's kicked 4, going for his 5th. All of his goals have been at this end of the ground.
At crucial moments of the game too. Ooh.
He's missed this one, and he's just pushed it across the face of goal, so a bit of a let off there for Saints, and Jacob Long wastes no time bringing the ball into Taylor. Taylor swings it around the outer side, but after a marking contest, the ball spills out over the boundary line.
What do you do, Shannon? Do you leave Braxton Armat on Eddie, or do you switch it up if you're the coach? What do you think?
I'm not sure who we've got down there other than maybe Liam Fiore, who could go into Eddie, so I might just hope that if you're a St Mary's fan, you're hoping that Brax can turn things around, or even just get a clamp on Eddie, because he's the one who looks like he's going to win the game for Wanderers.
Well, he did last week, so yeah, they might need to do something.
Coming back in his direction again, Tyler Saunders works his way back this time to help out, gets his hands to the ball, hand pass comes back out, and a hook around the corner, looks pretty good. And that's Sean Manor, I think, on the end of that one, and Wanderers with all the momentum at the moment stretch that lead that they got for the first time just moments ago out to 7 points.
Well, they've really had all the momentum since quarter time, Stu. St Mary's had such a good first quarter, but as Shannon said, failed to capitalise in front of goal, kicking a lot of behinds. They were 4-6-30 at quarter time to 1-1-7. So, yeah, St Mary's need to pull their socks up, so they say, Shan.
Yeah, you can say that Wanderers have recruited really well. The players who probably have turned it around for them since that first quarter have been Manor. We spoke about the other one, McFarlane and Eddie, so they've picked some good players up and leading the charge for them tonight.
So Grenfell mistimed his jump at the ball there. We've got a free kick play as a call. Grenfell kicks it forward quickly, took the advantage. Ralph Clark works his way underneath the ball, but Wanderers organised in defence. Worked the ball through their hands, and there's Manor again, who across half back this time drives the ball down. A beautiful kick, and it's Smith Thompson who takes that mark. Hand passes inboard to Matthew Motlop. Motlop to centre half forward. Hodgson standing underneath this one. Had a couple of grabs at it, couldn't complete the mark, and now it finishes with Jacob Long, who chips it out in front of Nate Paredes. Paredes has got a couple of metres on his opponent there, and kicks Long towards half forward, but Wanderers with some numbers work it out pretty well. McLean hooks it back inside, and it's Newman who chips it round, and Wanderers settle things down on the outer side of the ground. So Saints have had their hands on it a couple of times, but unable to penetrate deep enough forward to have a shot at goal. So the switch comes here. It looks dangerous. Motlop got his hands to the ball, spills over the back to Aaron Motlop. He chips in short, and he's there again. Manor at centre half forward. He's everywhere at the moment. And really controlling the game for Wanderers.
Likes his chances. He's told the boys, let me have a crack at it. So this will be one to save if he kicks this. Jack Musgrove just inside 50. He'll be kicking from just outside 50.
So no wind whatsoever. You can see the flags on by the scoreboard out there are hanging straight down. Not even a ruffle. So comes in now, kicks from about 52. He's got plenty on it, and it's straight. It's cleared the line by about 5 metres. So he knew exactly what he was doing, and he's kicked 2 in a row now, and Wanderers really on the charge.
I'm not sure if the vision shows it, but Brett Eddy was behind the goal umpire and he had his hand straight in the air as soon as the ball was off the boot of Manor, and he knew it was through for a goal. Manor's played VFL football with Richmond, so yeah, he's got a bit of experience, Shan.
I might have had Warwick Williams for best on, but the last couple of minutes I think Manor might have just put himself just in front by nose, but still got plenty of free to go. And
yeah, we
have been really good all night, so we'll see how they finish the game off.
So 6-minute mark here at TIO Stadium. St Mary's 8-8-56 lead Trail Wanderers 10-9-69.
So Raph Clark won the hit out. Coming in off the wing was Taylor. Kicks high towards centre half forward. Calder underneath this one, but punched away again by Jeffrey. Paredes on the ground.
Oh, that was a bit high.
Drops the knees, and the master at drawing that high tackle free kick does so once again. But Wanderers are pretty well set up in defence here. Kicks the ball long. Oh,
got to be a free kick
Grenfell
there.
Down there, resting forward, got in front, got ploughed into his back, and he'll take the free kick. And Saints really need a goal here to keep themselves in touch, as Wanderers have been on the burst, and again they've got to kick the last 4 goals and have kicked away to a 13-point margin at this stage.
Yeah, it's Grenfell's first season with St Mary's. He debuted last week in round 1. He's got TAC Cup experience playing for Calder, and he's from the Golden Valley League, which is a very strong league in country Victoria.
So the big fella comes in now, kicks on the way. Looks like he's missed that to the right-hand side. So not what Saints needed at this stage of the game.
No, so that reduces the margin slightly. 8-9-57, 10-9-69, 2 straight goals.
So he's working back here. He's done pretty well to get his hand to the ball there. Bates comes in, the ball's stripped off of him, and a kick round the corner by Dustin Walters for Saints. Takes them forward again. Oh, it looks like play-on's the call. It looked like a high tackle, but umpire said no. Fairchild gets a hand pass forward. A hook around the corner by Williams. This one's online. And Saints are back in the game, are we, Shannon?
Yeah, a bit of a goal for nothing there, which may be something they need, considering Wanderers have had all that momentum. Maybe a scrappy, ugly goal against the run of play might just help Saints get back into this game and get back on top. They need to get back on top of the midfield, because we spoke about McFarlane and Manor. They're probably 2 guys for Wanderers who've given them a lot of drive in the guts. So if Nate Paredes can get back into this game, he'll have a lot to say about that. And they've got him, Hayden Walters and Jack Blanche on there with Raff in the ruck. So we'll see how they go.
Well, we've seen it time and time again. Massive rivalry between St Mary's and Wanderers. They're next door neighbours. The clubhouses next to each other. We've got another cracker on our hands here. Just 1 goal the difference at the 8.5-minute mark.
Raph Clark won the hit out, but Cabillo got on the end of it and hand passed it back to Tottenham. Kick goes forward. Jollyman Turner here, a bit of dash, finds some space, but his kick goes straight into the arms of Tottenham. Tottenham has a player in here, and Hodgson near the wing. Hodgson plays straight on and drills it down to McFarlane. McFarlane looking to kick that ball towards centre half forward. Culhane on the end of it gets a hand pass back to Fuller. Fuller under plenty of pressure, but I think the tackle was high. Play-on's the call. Culhane's taken the advantage, but has hit the post.
Wow. That 1 point could be crucial.
Saints bring it straight back in. Dre Thompson got there and got the fist to the ball and first to recover, and gets the hand pass inside now. Paredes working over the top, but Saints with some numbers. Some clever work there by Jacob Long. And Jack Musgrove clears to Harry Williams out there, looks to hand pass, changes his mind, and now settles things down and goes long towards the
3-on-1 there for Wanderers, and they'll rebound this pretty well, you'd imagine.
Yeah, they're working hard to get back in defence, Wanderers, at the moment, and Saints just need to be a bit smarter with the ball in those situations, I think. Manor again bringing it out of defence, finds Matthew Motlop, he chips it wide, and it's marked out here by McFarlane for Wanderers. Just slows things up a bit, looking for Eddie down here, and he's in a 2-on-1, but does enough to put some pressure on Jacob Long with some good work. Clever hands to Armat. Armat under a bit of pressure, kicks Long, and that's a good kick to Raph Clark. He's looking to give it off, but changes his mind in the end, and now drills it in to the big fella Grenfell at centre half forward. Looks like he's got a push after it.
50 metres.
And no,
Oh.
I thought he said the come with me boy signals, but he obviously didn't.
So handed the ball off, and the long kick in. All clear is the signal. It's Harry Williams that's kicked that one, so he's got 2 in a row. So all happened pretty quickly, but Grenfell gave it off to Williams running past, had a flying shot, and Calder did the body work on the goal line to see it go through. And we've got a 1-point ball game.
1-point ball game. Well, I've just had a message from St Mary's legend Barry O'Brien that Grenfell's actually from Coorparoo in Queensland, but played for Tatura in the Golden Valley League and made his way up to St Mary's by Barry. So g'day Barry, I know you're watching. He's a good friend of the Longs and played at St Mary's, and yeah, how important was that goal? 1 point the difference at the 11.5-minute mark. St Mary's 10-9-69, trailing Wanderers 10-10-70.
And the crowd really getting into it. Raph Clark wins this hit out, but Manner's going to be on the end of it again. He couldn't pick it up cleanly this time, and now there's numbers in there. Oh, it was,
when you say crowd, Stu, I think you mean Arnie Burney's really getting into it down there, the mother of Jacob Long. Everyone can probably hear her. She's good value.
Big fist over the top by Priest. Bates is on the end of this one, but he's tackled by Lant there. An excellent tackle, and holding the ball is the call.
Been impressive this second half, Jack Lant. Worked himself in the game really well.
So he kicks it out wide here to his brother there, Dylan Lant. He chips inboard. He'd want to have that one back again, I think, and that's he's just knocked the ball out of the hand and given away a 50-metre penalty. So everything going wrong for the young fella there, and this be marched down well inside forward 50, and
McFarlane.
Yeah, it is McFarlane, and he's impressed tonight as well for Wanderers, and he's got the opportunity to have a shot at goal from only about 30 metres out.
Especially after coming back from that big hit to the ribs earlier, Shannon.
Yeah, responded really well. Still playing the way he was in that first quarter and that second quarter.
McFarlane's kick on the way, he likes it, goal umpire likes it, and Wanderers stretch the lead again back out to 7 points. So just a bit of a brain fade there. I think Dylan Lant thought that he was about to play on and instinctively tapped the ball out of his hand.
Yeah, I think even the original kick that led to the turnover, I think he was trying to hit Jack Musgrove, who was streaming through the middle behind Raph Clark, and there was a Wanderers player between them, and that might have just distracted him and made him change his mind and tried to pull a kick to Raph at the end possibly, and yeah, kicked it straight to a Wanderers bloke who was even closer to him than Raph, and then gave away a 50.
Well, don't go and get a cup of coffee if you're watching at home. We've got a real game on our hands here. 13.5-minute marks at Mary's 10-9-69, trailing Wanderers 11-10-76.
So Priest really doing some strong work in the middle now. One that took that ball out of the ruck contest and hacked it forward. Simon Bates over the top of it, got thrown off the ball as he picked it up. Gilliman Turner picks it up and kicks it forward. Harry Williams on the end of this one, swings back inside on his right foot, centres the ball into the corridor. Raph Clark on the end of this one. He's pulled to play on now. He's in some trouble. Manages to get a hand pass to Nick Yarran. Nick Yarran chips it inside to centre half forward. Fairchild's in there, but a free kick off the ball to St Mary's. No, it's not. It's against St Mary's.
Yeah, in the tackle there, he tackled really well before on Simon Bates. I think he might have got a bit carried away after that effort across the half-back line.
So it's Tottenham with the free kick at centre half-back for Wanderers, and eventually we'll get the ball back to him and get the game underway again. Umpire blows time on, and Totham runs away now, takes a bounce, and kicks out towards the grandstand side here. Raf Clark getting in there, manages, no, doesn't keep the ball in play, and we'll have a boundary throw in. So 15 minutes into this final quarter now, and a lead of 7 points. So Saints really need to get the next score if they're a chance to snatch this game back.
Yeah, a couple in a row, I think, Stu.
Yeah, they need to fix up their forward entries. They're looking really unimaginative when they're taking the footy forward. There's not a lot of creativity, not a lot of movement from the forwards. That's giving them good options, and Wanderers are turning footy over across half back at will pretty much.
Ball spills out in the tackle there. And now Bates over the top, gets a hand pass forward. Smith-Thompson hand passes forward to no one in particular. Paredes tried to kick forward, didn't go very far. Jellyman Turner to Williams. Williams kicks one underground, and it's all Wanderers back there. And Williams thumps it forward. Jack Musgrave lets it slip out the back.
Oh,
Hodgson
good chase.
kicks long.
Good pressure,
towards
like
goal.
there.
Under pressure, but just dragged it as he was tackled. And it's a behind only for Wanderers. So the lead is now 8 points. Jacob Long chips it in, and it's Taylor who drives the ball round the outer side of the ground, but Wanderers are first there. It's McFarlane again, and he's got players inside. Hodgson with the hands out in front and got plenty of pressure from behind. So a mark or free kick, whatever you like, as Taylor came in to try and spoil there. The chip comes back across, and it's Brodie Newman for Wanderers inside the centre square. He goes straight up the middle of the ground looking for Eddie. The ball goes over the top. Jellyman Turner's there. He picks up and kicks the ball out of defence, and he's hoping that his teammate can get there before it goes out of bounds. He can. That's Dylan Lant. Drives the ball along the boundary line here, looking for his brother. And
Wanderers once again able to get a stop on that switch for St Mary's, and they've done that really well. They've turned the table. Wanderers were on the back foot, couldn't transition the footy into their forward line as well as what Saints were in the first quarter, but ever since then it's been all Wanderers.
And they're pretty well organised defensively as well, Shannon, so no easy possessions there for Saints, and especially when they go inside 50.
You look at who they've got down back: Warwick Williams, Braden McLean and Newman, who you spoke about. Jordan Jeffries had a really good game down back as well for them, so they've held their own down back.
And as we speak, they've got a spare down back, so it's going to be difficult for Saints to get a couple of scores that they need, but ball's in free space here. Williams on the end of it, couldn't take it. Musgrave's in there. Well done by Motlop there. Kick comes in, and Braxton Armack gets his hand over the top of Eddie there. Oh, hacked off the ground by Tipalura, and the ball trickles out towards the forward pocket for Wanderers. Saunders is first there, but Tipalura followed it up and put the pressure on, and managed to win a stoppage at between forward pocket and half forward, and that'll suit Wanderers just fine. And as we hit the 18-minute mark of the final quarter.
Yeah, just chewing up the time there, isn't it? Taking away precious time from St Mary's, but the advantage there to Wanderers if they've got it in their forward 50 arc.
So Parry doing the ruck work there, managed to square it with Eddie, and the hand pass comes across here to Taylor. Taylor kicks into space and then follows it up himself. Clay Thompson's in a foot race with him. This is going to be a terrific contest. Taylor manages to get his toe to the ball. Fairchild there for St Mary's, picks up, looks inside, but he's got no one there, and while McFarlane couldn't take it, and coming in late was Walters. Walters runs inside 50 now, kicks to the goal square where Grenfell's got a one-on-one. Calder comes across the front, he's tackled with the ball. A terrific tackle back there by Brenton Motlop. And Saints had a real opportunity, but fantastic defensive pressure by Wanderers.
That could have been Saints' chance, and Brenton Motlop did fantastic there for his team.
So ball on the ground again. Williams again spins out of one tackle, but is caught in the next one and is penalised holding the ball. So Wanderers with the numbers.
Really good once again, Stu. Liz, we spoke about how good they were in that second quarter to lift their defensive work rate. We've seen now a couple of really good tackles in their back 50.
Yeah, and really well organised in defence as well. They're helping each other out. And Brenton Motlop with a couple of important touches late in the game. Drives the ball towards the outer wing now. Oh, a big leap over the top, but no mark taken, and Saints bring it back in, but only as far as Williams again. He's had
just keep kicking the Wanderers spare play at the moment. St Mary's, we spoke about that lack of impact they're having through the middle of the ground trying to go forward.
So Lamp at the back, chips out here to Nick Yarran. Nick Yarran needs to get going. He plays on straight away, and it's Gilbert here for Saints. He kicks long down looking for Calder, but he's got 3 on 1. And Wanderers again well organised and worked that ball out. Gilbert got his hands to it, couldn't take the mark. And pass forward, and it's Manor now again, takes a bounce. Avoids the player running off the bench. Drives the ball deep inside 50 looking for Eddie. Eddie lets it bounce and tries to run onto it now. Braxton Arnott's tackled him. Hand pass comes out. Play on's the call. Jacob Long gets a quick hand pass to Tyler Saunders. He's taken too much time. Eventually got a beat to the ball, but it goes towards Wanderers' advantage. Oh, back heel in there. And a toe take off the ground. Braden Culhane, and that's won the game. Some pretty clever footwork down there. So it's been a fantastic fight back by Wanderers after being well down early, and they've finished the game with plenty of running. Just looked a lot more organised defensively, and have soaked it up from Saints and kicked away a little bit in the end to be a couple of goals and more out. Yeah,
we said it last week. That's Culhane's bread and butter. He hangs back, stays on the ground and waits for the ball to spill out to kick those goals close to the goalpost, Shan.
Very good little back heel there from Michael Mummery. Everyone else probably gave up on the play, but he was the one cheeky little back heel. Bit of a soccer fan, so I like that.
That might be in the play of the round this week.
You can just see St Mary's trying to look forward, and there was nothing down the ground for their defenders to kick to. Wanderers set up so well behind the ball.
No, that's right. So 21.5 minute mark. Wanderers look to have sewn up the game here at TIO Stadium.
Manor again with another clearance out to the advantage of Eddie, and there wasn't much that the Saints defenders could do there.
Just a bit of late game frustration there. Braxton Arnott knew he was not in position A to get that footy, and just interfered with Brett Eddy as he tried to take the mark.
He's kicked 4 so far. He'll be going for his 5th goal of the game, and what a player he's turning out to be for Wanderers this season.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of him the last couple of years, but he has been up here, so they'll be happy he's up here for a bit more action this season.
Yep. And that's a goal. Another goal to Wanderers as they storm home to take this win over St Mary's after trailing at quarter time by 23 points. Certainly turned it around.
Yeah, so 6 goals to 2 in this last quarter, and Eddie's been a real focal point up forward, and he's just really strengthened as the game's gone on. Braxton Arnott's battled pretty hard back there, but under the weight of the number of times the ball's come in and the ball use by Wanderers going forward, I think he's been on the end of a few from Sean Manor as they've come in, and Sean Manor's second half has been outstanding.
It has. So back to a 20-point margin. Can't be long to go. Wanderers 89 lead St Mary's 69 as we see Brett Eddie again take that chest mark. He's just so strong across the body, Shannon.
And that was front spot, big body like you said, and a young, inexperienced defender. This will be a good learning lesson for Braxton, but it's pretty hard to stop when the footy's coming in at that pace and you've got front spot.
That was Joe Baston-Priest again with that clearance, and his work rate has really lifted in the second half as well, and he's become a dominant ruckman in there, but also working when the ball's on the ground. So Eddie's kick on the way, so 3 in this quarter for him to go with the 3 that he kicked in the second quarter, and it's really blown out now to a 26-point margin. Yeah,
that's a fantastic effort by Brett Eddy. So 24 minutes, St Mary's 10-9-69, trailing Wanderers 14-11-95.
Be pretty hard to pick your top player tonight if you're Shannon Motlop. We spoke about McFarlane and Manor through the midfield. Williams down across half-back, Braden McLean early, and Brett Eddy's been pretty solid since he turned it on in that second quarter. So.
Yeah, well, Brett Eddy had 17 disposals, 10 marks and just the 1 goal last week. So, yeah, he's improved his goal kicking 600%, and outstanding game by him.
Yeah, and there's been some good signs for Saints as well tonight. They came out of the blocks really fast. It's a new combination basically, a lot of new players to the club, and so they've got a bit to work with there. And
yeah, they're missing Sean Edwards, who was another tall tonight, and Jackson Payne, obviously a big body who has AFL experience. So a couple of experienced players missing, but all credit to Wanderers for coming back tonight.
Another turnover across half-back for St Mary's. It's been a bit of a theme since the first quarter. Their forward entries has been what's let them down, I reckon. They haven't been able to score.
So Musgrave hands it over to Taylor deep in the back line. He's running the ball out of defence now, manages to get the hand pass out through the hands there, and puts himself under pressure. But Jacob Long, cool again, gets a hand pass over the top. Was interfered with after he got rid of the ball, and he'll have to go back and take the free kick as he tried to take the advantage and play on, but wasn't allowed. He chips in short here to Lockie Taylor, and it's just a matter of time now. Taylor chips into Musgrave, and Jack Musgrave now just rear of the centre wing and goes long looking for Calder. Calder up high, and Cunningham Hard was Totten down there, and eventually decides to kick inboard. Priest on the end of this one, Bates as well. He finds some space now, takes a bounce, runs inside 50, kicks long towards goal. It's on line, but just falls short. And in fact, it'll be a free kick down there to St Mary's.
He's a crowd favourite, Batesy. He's got the big eagle tattooed across his back, and it was his birthday. I think last week Wanderers put it on their Facebook page. He would have liked a goal, but St Mary's are going to bring it out, and Jack Musgrave, I was going to say safe hands, but he spills it. And there's the siren for Wanderers. What a comeback to take the win over St Mary's. 14-11, 95. St Mary's 10-9, 69. Shannon, it looked all St Mary's way in the first quarter, but as we said, Wanderers came back, will always come back.
Yeah, we've said it a number of times tonight, you can't count them out, and they picked up their defensive work rate, and they're able to get St Mary's to slow their ball movement down through the middle third of the ground, and able to get their forward line up and running, mostly through the good work of Eddie with some spice out of there by Michael Munry. So they did really well to address the issues and fix things, and their half-back line was great tonight. I thought Braden McLean, Warwick Williams, Jordan Jeffrey we spoke about, and then they were able to win that footy there and spread really hard. And we spoke about Manor and McFarlane, how good they were at giving a lot of drive out of the centre of the ground.
Yeah, that's right. Well, obviously, Brett Eddy, great game, Stu. 6 goals. The leading goal kicker for St Mary's, Harry Williams, and Jackson Calder with 2. That's just the difference, isn't it? Yeah,
that's right. I mean, Jackson had those moments early in the second quarter, Jackson Calder, where he kicked those couple of goals, but really on the night, I think he was a bit disappointing. But you saw, especially late in the game, Saints were driving the ball in, and he was outnumbered 2 and 3 and 4 to 1. So, it was really hard for him. And yeah, I think Shannon Motlop's done a really good job tonight, getting his side organised after Saints started the game on fire, and they look like a pretty good outfit. Look like they'll be pretty strong this year. They're pretty well organised, I think, and obviously playing for each other early in the season with 2 big wins on the board over Southern Districts and St Mary's, who unusually both are winless after 2 games, so some work to do.
Yeah, that's right. Wanderers 2 from 2, St Mary's and Southern District 0 from 2. So well done to Shannon Motlop and his coaching staff, and I know Tony Fuller's done a great pre-season with them all. Big thanks to Stu Davis, Shannon Rioli. My name's Liz Cruz. Thanks for joining us for AFLN TV's broadcast tonight here from TIO Stadium. Make sure you tune in next week, and thanks for watching.